So this session we will go through the 20 secondary delusions, to have some idea about the 20 secondary delusions. So the 20 secondary delusions are very much, all are influenced by the either of the 6 delusions. So 6 delusions are actually the root which make possibility of manifestation of the 20 secondary delusions. Then the rest of the other, many numberless delusions are very much byproduct of root with the 6 root delusions and subrooted with either of the 20 secondary root delusions. So when we want to purify the delusions, as long as we focus on purifying the 6 root delusions, then the 20 secondary delusions, the rest of the delusions will be naturally purified. And of course, within the 6 root delusion, the main root is the ignorant. And if we are able to purify ignorant, then the rest of the other, the 5 delusions, 5 root delusions will be purified. But to purify ignorant from the very first attempt, that is very tough, very hard. So therefore, the technical way, the practical way, not the technical, the practical way is to purify, the grosser manifestation of ignorance, which could be the 20 different type of delusions, then the 5 other different type of root delusions, then will naturally affect the purification of the ignorance itself. But then to remember, each and every the 20 secondary delusions, sometimes can be quite tough. So as long as we are mindful of the characteristic of the 6 characteristic of the 5 main root delusions from the 6 root delusion, the 5 main root delusions, then as long as we guard our 3 doors, intrusion of those delusions, then that itself will help the gradual purification, gradual elimination of the root delusion, which is the ignorant. Yeah. And among the 6, then the 3 poisons, from the 3 poisons, among the 6, the 3 poisons are the most destructive. Attachment, then hatred, and the ignorant. Again, from these 3 poisons, when we start to purify the attachment and anger, hatred, it naturally affected to the purification of ignorant. So and all the delusions, they have general antidotes and specific antidotes that can apply. Any form of Dharma practices are general antidote to any form of delusion. So any form of meritorious deeds, is naturally affected for the purification of delusion, including ignorant. Any form of purification practices, from Buddhist teachings, all the different type of purification practices are general antidote, to bring the impact of purification of all the delusions, including ignorance. But then when if we wish to purify effectively, if we wish to purify effectively, then it's necessary to apply their individual specific antidotes. like that, what you call the, like attachment and the detachment, then anger, patience, ignorance, wisdom, then doubt, the what you call the clarity, pride, humility, so you can, the specific delusion has a specific antidotes, but then those specific antidotes, like such as detachment, if you want to eliminate attachment, when you engage in the practice of detachment, naturally it becomes a general antidote to the rest of the other delusions too, because it is virtuous deeds, so like that. So even like emptiness is regarded one of the most powerful general antidote for any negativities, any negative emotions. So since emptiness is one of the most powerful general antidote to any negative emotion, then how about to purify attachment? The application of antidote of wisdom is more powerful, or more powerful than the direct antidote as a detachment. Which one is more powerful? Then the detachment, the practice of detachment can be more effective. The power-wise, power-wise you can rise in the almost same, but then the effectiveness, you apply the direct antidote, it will be more effective. So even though emptiness can be generally, most powerful antidote among all the antidotes, among all the virtues, but when it comes to specific delusion, then the direct antidotes are the most effective. So like that. So there are few of the 20th century, delusions which drive from anger. So this is very much, drive from anger, like wrath, the wrathfulness, which is very much infused by anger. So by increases anger, malicious state, wishing to cause immediate harm to others. So that is the wrathfulness. You see, so the wrathful act from your speech and your physical appearance, again, can be very much, it dependent on whether it's virtue or non-virtue, whether it's delusional or non-delusional. It very much dependent on the motivation. If the wrathful speech is very much, very much motivated by compassion, and then it is virtue. And the wrathful speech is very much, motivated by anger, then it is delusional. So like even in the Buddhist deities, you see many wrathful aspects of Buddhist deities. So all are overwhelmed by compassion. So their motivation is compassion, and their wrathful aspect is every single moment, every single aspect is, it is expression of compassion. It is expression of compassion. So when that wrathfulness come in action or come in contact for the subduing of sentient beings, and the sentient beings are only be benefited, never receive harm. But if the wrathfulness, comes from infused by anger, then the result is only cause harm to the sentient beings. So like overwhelmed with the compassion, the mother who is overwhelmed with the compassion, and to stop your child from, like, such as engaging in negative conducts, and you needed to show very wrathful face and needed to scold with a bit harsh word, and that action is not negative, it is virtuous, you see. So so like that. So yeah. So I think we have to be very mindful, of course, whether it's genuinely, it's overwhelmed with compassion or not, that kind of. And if you need to tame your child, or you need to tame tame somebody, and suddenly you show very, very black face, or say something which is very quite harsh, and so if it is motivated by compassion, if it is overwhelmed by compassion, that intention, then the person who is manifesting that wrathfulness in the person's heart, there won't be any disturbance. Your heart will be very clear, very calm, and the wrathfulness that comes from your face and the word that you say is very much kind of designed from here. It's here. It's not here to here. It's all compassion, and here is just showing some kind of like painting, some painted image of like that. So if it's not purely from compassion, then you will see this uneasiness is happening in your heart, and there's sense of uneasiness, sense of impatientness. You see, so then that is very much infused by the anger, the wrath that which is initiated by anger, and which is one of the secondary delusion. You see, so it is something individually you have to examine carefully, because there do many circumstances comes in our way that we have to be firm, wrathful. We have to kind of not always gentle appearance, So it is, as a practitioner, it is our responsibility to make sure that it's never, it is even needed to show wrathfulness, but it's never by the mind of anger. It has to be overwhelmed with compassion, and for that, I think unless you are well trained, otherwise you need to kind of prepare a lot. Need to do a proper preparation before you want to be very angry look. You need to do a good meditation before you say something very harsh to tame someone. You see, so it's a tough work. So, even the Buddha's activities, there's four different activities, and we need to adopt that in our day-to-day life, to deal with others. There's a gradual, way to. There's many choices that we can deal, like action of pacifying, action of controlling, action of increasing, action of wrathfulness. The wrathfulness always comes at the last choice. So always find way to deal in every aspect, compassionately, both physically, verbally, and mentally. And then only if unable to tame for the total benefit of that being, then if needed to show a wrathful aspect, then yes, that has to be generated only by the mind of compassion. Yeah. So then the second one is called malice, resentment, malice. So not forgetting harm done by a person and seeking to return harm done to oneself. So it's a kind of grasping. It's very much, you see. And then, so this one not only referring the harm that giving by others always reminded in our mind. That is not just the negative. The negative is remembering negative itself, remembering past negative action that you have done, negative situations that happen. Just reminding itself is already become delusional. So you see, so we have to find a way to not to remember, find a way to let go and forget. So letting go of the negativities of the past, forgetting absolutely from even the imprint from your heart, is the doorway to purification of those negativities. You see, so if we have any guilt, any harmful action that one caused in the past, and if continue to haunt your heart, and continue to remind it, each time it reminded, it increases the power of that negativity. It multiplies the imprint of that negativity. So it is also due to that reason that we need to, forget. The way to forget is letting go, and letting go is the first attempt of a purification. So in the Buddhist spiritual term, we say we need to engage in the purification practice. So within the purification practice, the second opponent power, the power of, most of the texts they use the word power regret. So power regret actually referring to power of acknowledging. So you acknowledge once for all that whatever negativities that you have done in the past, just acknowledge it, then let go. Forever. Forget. Let go, then move on to the cultivation of antidote, which is accumulation of virtue. Then the fourth opponent power is, power of reframing is, even course of my life, I will make sure I will never be reminded that again. Firm kind of affirmation that even how difficult it may be, I will make sure that my mind is not reminded that negativities again, or never to engage in such negative action again, including not remembering that negative incident again. It is so helpful, in many people's life. We have, as a human being, we make error in the past, and there are so many people who live in the past with, then so depressed, so much suffering, and the depressed and the suffering itself is an accumulation of negativities. So you see, so not just unable to purify the past negativities, but at the same time, you accumulate more negativities. So you see, so therefore, it is tough, because one of the most difficult practice is things to let go. Whether it's good or bad, is the letting go is one of a very tough practice, but it is one of the most crucial practice in order for us to truly able to be purified negativities. You see. You see, so it's not forgetting harm done by a person. You keep thinking, he have done this to me, he punched me last year, in one occasion, even though you're not really kind of want to punch back, but you still keep that memory in your mind, So and that memory is delusional, and that delusion has its own power to exaggerate, as we discussed before. It is somewhere, somehow, if the condition ripen, it just magnify, exaggerate. then suddenly one day think, oh, who knows? I think he still maybe last time punched, but now maybe he want to do something worse. Even though the person himself already kind of transformed person, but the problem, the negativity is still lying in you is because you are not transformed. That's why you project that to that person. Then again, with that projection, you may cause a condition for that person to create negative karma or punching you back again, harming you again. You see, so that's why must purify it, means must let go, and must let go even from the imprint. So when we talk about purification, there's some people they have done something terrible things, and sometimes we believe that purification means that need to take rebirth to purify, or need to do something huge amount of some virtuous thing to purify, like one maybe need to recite 100 million times of mantra, and maybe 100 million times of recitation of mantra may take maybe 10 years. Then for coming 10 years, how to purify. So purification is just simply, having what we call as what Buddha says, having some sense of total reliance, which is we call the power of reliance. And Buddha already said, there's not even one single negativities that which cannot be purified by the application of four opulent power. So just remember this, meaning that even one committed a heinous crime, if you engage in four opulent power, it can be purified immediately. You see, and again, it is whether it is purified or not is very much it dependent on the labeling. Labeling, because the negativities are very much exist in the merely label state. You see, so if your heart is free from grudge, that the grasping to that negativity itself is also a purification. You see, so we can be right very now like totally pure person, pure being. The moment that we clean up in our mind all the grasping towards negativities. You see, and this can be done by deleting the idea purification means in the number, accumulation of antidote in the number, or purification is something in external level, like Buddha suddenly appear in front of you and put his mala on the head of you and suddenly purified. That may be very helpful to let go, but that kind of encountering may not happen so soon. But the purification need to happen as soon as possible, and that can be happen right now. But simply by trusting the word of Buddha, which is power reliance. You say, yes, definitely can be purified. Then, okay, I recognize, where it went wrong. Or, I punched somebody, okay. Or the punch somebody is mistake. So that is the second power, open power. Power regret is power recognition, power acknowledging that punching is wrong. That's it, simply that. Then, you replace your the haunted heart of that punching idea, replace into some virtuous idea, and that is the power antidote. It can be whenever whenever the thought, whenever your portion of mind used to think about that punching. Now that portion of mind you replace with the thinking of Buddha's face, or thinking of compassion, or thinking of forgiveness, or thinking of mantra, or recitation of mantra, or something virtuous, replace with that. So that is called power antidote. Because power antidote is something has to happen, is total replacement. You see, it's like it's like a darkness replaced with the light, like that. You know, the antidote has to happen like that. You see. So then, in order to, make sure that from the seed, from the root, from the imprint is already kind of purified and letting go, then you make an affirmation, the fourth opening power, like even course of my life that I won't allow to occur that idea again, or even course of my life I will not allow to engage in such negative action again, or such thought again. So then next time, with the help of mindfulness, then whenever the situation that it may have a potential of reminding you that negative incident, then the mindfulness will immediately help you to help you to be mindful of any of the virtuous mind, so that there's no possibility for you to reoccur that memory again. It will protect you to recommit the similar karma again. So that's how the opponent power works. That's how like that. So so it's one of I think one of a very important practice of Buddha Dharma is what you call letting go of all the past bad memories, letting go of all the past negative past. So basically letting go of all the negative past, and move forward for the positive path, and that is very much living, present in totality in the virtues. So in the present, So I usually used to say that it can be quite easy because as long as one can able to secure one single present moment in virtue, and we just need to take care of that one single present moment. Don't even need to worry about how you're going to sustain the virtue in the subsequent present moment. Just this present moment, if we can be virtue, if we can be happy, if we can be, clear heart, as long as you have actualized that, the next present moment arises, and you just take care of that next present moment. Don't even need to worry about the past, don't even need the future. So if we can able to do like that, moment after moment, and the job is actually not that difficult, because just to secure the one single present moment, to protect our mind, one single present moment. So our job is every day-to-day life, we have to protect every single our present moment, every single 1 hour present moment. So only one present moment, not even two, not a big work, one present moment. Yeah. And if that present moment is secure with virtue, secure with peace, secure with happiness, and that naturally become a cause for the next present moment. And in that way, then each moment it passes, you accumulate abundance of causes of virtue, abundance of causes of happiness. You see, otherwise we forget the present moment. The present moment is very, very disturbed, delusional. Then we are hoping something virtuous for future moments. Logically it doesn't work, because you are unable to create the cause. And the cause is, there are, we call Langri Yu. Langri Yu is the cause, what you call the immediate cause. Any result need to have an immediate cause. And the immediate cause also has to accompany with a similar cause. So the immediate, the previous moment is delusional, unhappiness. where is Nielen with you? Where is this immediate cause? There's no immediate cause. The immediate cause is delusional. So the next moment is to experience delusional. And the previous immediate cause is unhappiness, unhappy mind. Then you are hoping to be happy next moment is unable to, because the immediate cause is unhappiness. So you see, so you see, logically, even with the karmic theory, it doesn't work. Hoping happiness later and living unhappy at the present, it doesn't work. If you want happy later, you must be happy now. If you want to have a virtuous later, you have to be virtuous now. So present and now is super most important. And that present, again, we cannot, sometimes we may think huge amount of present. It's like kind of like, I can't cope it, not like that. So that's why I say one single present moment is just, maybe it's the momentary of snapping the finger, maybe. Less than that amount of time. You see, you just like peace, happy. Then the next moment just already arrives, and be peace, happy. The next moment arrives. So it's not difficult, but we the only thing that never happened this way, because we didn't really kind of let it happen. We choose to we choose to make our present moment unhappy. We choose it. We choose to, or we never attempt, we never even kind of make possibility to make our present moment happy or virtual. Or most of the time we choose our present moment to be unhappy and not virtual. So you see, but if we choose the other way, it is not a difficult thing. It is an easy thing. You see, so this is not just like kind of like one person's idea. Even the karmic cause and effect, based on that theory, it has to be worked that way. Because of not having this, not engaging, this is a simple method. Then, we want happiness, but we always commit causes of suffering. And when we create a cause of suffering, it's in the present moment. Yes, past moment we have abundance already. Those are conditional cause. But to produce the immediate result, it requires immediate, immediate. Now I forgot the
immediately preceding condition. Immediately preceding condition.
Immediately preceding condition. Yeah, immediately preceding condition is needed, and there's a resultant similar to the cause. It also has to be there. You see, so resultant similar to the cause. Happiness result similar to the cause has to be happy or has a potential to produce happy. You see, so like that. So it's a main practice, main practice, because whole purpose of practicing Buddha Dharma is to actualize everlasting happiness. Everlasting happiness. That's our goal. And if you are not Buddhist, the whole purpose of your life is to actualize everlasting happiness too. Who do not want that? Actually, everyone is pursuing for everlasting happiness, which is not happening only. Everybody, I think, including the cats, I think deep in their subconscious, their life is to pursue everlasting happiness. I think every living being, their innate urge is for everlasting happiness. And everlasting happiness is none other than the state of enlightenment state, none other than the Buddhahood. We call Buddhahood. Buddhists call Buddhahood. Maybe the cat may say something else. Mm-hmm. But whatever it is the same point, same destination. that everybody want to go there, you know. So you see, so even on the journey of pursuing temporary happiness, deep in our conscious, you know, actually we wanted lasting happiness, you know, deep in our conscious. You see, so if that's the case, then we need to commit a cause that cost similar to the result. You see, and we accumulate, you know, abundance and abundance and abundance similar cost to the everlasting happiness. Then everlasting happiness will come. You see, and that has to start with the very present moment, with a small, you know, genuine happiness. To produce that, then we accumulate a genuine causes of that happiness, which being in the state of happiness, or being in the state of virtue, which has the potency to produce happiness. So like that. So I think this is very, very, I cannot let go. So this is, I think, very important meditation, what do you call meditation object, you know, to remind it this idea, you know, and then bring that meditation into practical in our daily life, you know, in our way of life. You know, and that really suits saying that, you know, Buddhism is way of life, Buddha Dharma is way of life, and it really makes sense. You see, and the purpose of any spirituality, of course, in Buddhist practice, is to pursue everlasting happiness and pursue virtues. You see, and that will truly make possible to achieve that goal. You know, so otherwise, our practice become like a ceremonial practice, occasional practice. You know, then the Buddhahood, the everlasting happiness, will not come in occasionally, in occasional level, in ceremonial level. You know, it has to be happen in that level. You see, so like that. So yeah. So every day to day, I think we need to do meditation like that. You know, meditation of securing, you know, present moment, each present moment, every awareness of present moment. Okay, now here, every awareness of, you know, that present moment, to be in the awareness of joy, happiness, or virtue, to secure that. You know, see, in a job place, you know, in a family, in meditation itself, you know, performing virtues, you know, walking in the beach, whatever you do, you know, always check your mind to check your mind to see whether you have the awareness of you are in the happiness or virtues, peace or virtues. If not, then you reorganize your mind, you know, rearrange your thought, you know, restructure your thinking, you know. So it can be that present moment. Think of something which is very uplifting. Think of something that which is very inspiring. You know, think of something that which is which really kind of like touch your heart, and that touching your heart can able to release a bliss in the center of your heart. At the same time, that inspire to kind of pursue, you know, some virtuous intention or virtuous act from physically. You know, suddenly you feel so happy, and one old lady walking with the gozuri, and you just say, "Can I help you?" You know, like that. You see, so it's like consistent mindfulness. You see, so if we are going to secure like that, you know, maybe first day, maybe maybe few seconds. We may fail, but never give up. Then again try, second or try again. Then you will definitely see improvement of maybe about 1 minute you can able to really get secure. Just 1 minute, but it's wow, huge. Then after that, trying to secure that peace, that virtue, maybe 5 minutes, Then eventually, maybe at least entire time before go to work. But when you go to work, your colleague you mess you up. Okay, fine, let it be. But at least before go to work, you are completely, your heart is just overwhelmed with peace, joy, inspiration, virtues, happiness. At least until you go to work. So you do that 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. Your mind is naturally in meditation, naturally trained, naturally habituated. When after 1 week later, when you go to office, you be among all the difficult colleagues, your heart is totally, free from disturbance. So that training, it has to come, has to happen. But that has to happen with a little bit, you see. So that is, that can happen because we have Buddha nature. And that is definitely possible. And in fact, that is our nature. The disturbance is actually not our nature. You see? So like that. So then eventually, one whole day, wherever you go, whatever, it rain, sunny, cloudy, you're just in bliss, You see, like that. You see, some of the genuine meditators, they always live in bliss. If they live in that state of mind, that's why they are in bliss. They don't have cocktail on their table. They don't have comfortable cushion. They don't have abundance of food to eat. But they are absolutely in bliss. These yogis are absolutely in bliss because their every single present moment is either in virtue or either in joyous inspiration. Because of that, they live in bliss without relying on any external kind of factors. And that is a really way to find happiness. And it's like discovering happiness internally, within, you see. So like that. Yes. So this has to happen. Yeah. Then life is so happy. Life is so meaningful. Then and that will make possibility of when the physical body get old and sicknesses comes, your mind won't be affected by that. You see, because your mind is well kind of nurtured in living only in a blissful, in an aspirational state, virtuous state. You see, and then even the practice of transforming problem into a path can able to happen if we have that training. Otherwise, when a real problem comes, not possible to transform the problem into path. It's just a word. If we don't have this basic day-to-day training in our heart, when the actual problem comes, we are freaked out. Not possible. You see. So then with that, when the death comes, you just dissolve into bliss. That it's like totally into a bliss. You see, with confidence you die. With joyfully we die. Confident because you live a life committing only the causes of happiness, causes of virtues again. And even at the last stage of your life, you see, you are committing this immediate cause, which is no doubt will bring the production of happiness result. If there's a rebirth, then happiness rebirth. You see, so like that. So for spiritual realizations, for day-to-day happiness, so this is, I think, very, very practical and very, important and also easy, not that difficult to do. It's not something that we need to go to a cave to meditate for 6 months or 1 year, then only come back and see whether I have some changes or not like that. Whoever you are, wherever you are, how positive person you may be, how negative person you may be, the moment you start this meditation, this awareness, that the internally changes will happen to anybody. You see, so third one is outrage. Okay. How about we stop here? You have any question about this? So okay, maybe today's discussion is Buddha nature. Okay, just a few terms. So it's quite one way quite easy. Another way is we have to discuss many long time. But I think this afternoon discussion we need to individually have to come to a point that how to do that. How to secure every single present moment into joy and virtue. How to drive that, just a small, how to say, like myself, when I want to be happy, I want to be happy that present moment, I remind with mind of gratitude, and it's just like, just hits your heart, and your heart melts. Gratitude. In gratitude of your parent, gratitude of your teacher, gratitude of society, gratitude of anybody. Just or gratitude of your life. You at least can walk, can eat, can still life is functioning. Just simple, any form of gratitude. Just a reminder. It's without choice. There's like as if there's kind of a liquid dripping, like this. It's from here like that, dripping like this, liquid dripping, and the liquid is kind of like going around all part of your body or all part of your thoughts like that, For the mind of appreciation is also and mind of containment, very powerful. Mind of containment, initially with some reasoning, because maybe you want this, you want that, you want this, then just life is so impermanent. Death is certain, time of death is uncertain. And right now you have enough. You have enough. Wow, amazing, enough. Your stomach is okay, full. You have clothes to wear, and it's good. Just that, it's bring calmness in your heart, bring peace in your heart, comfortability in your heart, and that comfortability, that peacefulness, that calmness, that blissfulness, it's like a firework. It's shooting many virtuous other thoughts. It's like. Then it's like, wow, I want to, you say, I want to go to hospice to help. Oh, I want to, walk outside and just give a smile to, some people walking on the street like that. Like that, small. It's so many good things coming, and that makes you so happy because you have ability to do that. If you really want to, you have ability. When you say, oh, okay, I want to lie down, then you just lie down with blissful. With a lot of virtuous thought. There's no negative thoughts. There's no harmful thoughts. There's no, nothing. Only virtuous thoughts. So, mind of containment, mind of gratitude, and remembrance of the kindness of someone in your life. Like in my case, I always think of my teacher. My guru, and I go back. This is nice to go back. So it's the nice memories, then because that really kind of brings so many new inspiration in your heart, make you so happy, make you so fortunate, and make you re-energize, to do more virtuous, to do more, to be more happy, So by remembering of, the compassionate Guru's kindness, or compassionate people's kindness, it's a gratitude. It's just without any choice, it drives joy in your heart. See? So like that. Wow. Now joy coming. Okay. So maybe this afternoon, try to individually, you have your own kind of how to say, in your own language, in your own understanding, you try to get the point and able to apply that, immediately. Don't wait until tomorrow, or don't wait until you become better person, better practitioner, not like that. Just immediately apply. And every one of us, we have so many good people around us. We experience so many good things in our life, you see. And there's so many things that which can inspire us. So try to remember that and try to delete, always try to avoid, haunting of the negative emotions, the negative parts, like that. Then, like that. So try to get, some solid symbol, very simple. That's why I say in your own language, the way how you would understand, and not the way how I say, not the way how someone say. You make your own, language that which can remind you so easily, so spontaneously in your day-to-day life. Then I think happy life will start. Genuinely, then we can probably say that, oh yeah, actually in my life I've been so happy. I was so happy. But otherwise, when you go and think of when I was happy, it's like almost, there's no particular day that I can really proudly say that yes, that day I was extremely happy, whole day happy. It's quite rare to figure it out, like that. Okay, thank you. Any questions? Then we stop. Sure.
Thank you. Can you explain why we say that loving kindness is the nature?
I didn't hear.
Can you explain a little bit why we call it loving kindness is in the nature of our mind?
Oh, loving kindness, yeah. Okay. Loving kindness is in the nature of mind, meaning that our subtle state of mind, in fact, it lies in the compassionate way, in a virtuous way, in a kind way, because our subconscious mind, our fundamental mind, it has the seed to develop into altruism. Our subconscious mind does not contain the seed to develop into anger, develop into ignorant, develop into all the negativities. But it has the seed that which can fruition and fully develop. That the subconscious mind itself you can regard as a seed. Either you can say that has a seed, or either you can say that subconscious mind itself is a seed to fully develop into a fully awakened state of mind, like omniscient state of mind. And the omniscient state of mind is just a continuation of development of bodhicitta, continuation of development of love and compassion. Right now it's not kind of not awakened, not fully awakened. It lies in kind of like what you call dormant, but it is there. It is there. The like anger, like ignorance, is very much not very much subconscious. It's very much what you call very much grosser than the subtle state. It's very much gross. Or many of the delusions are very much sensual. Very much sensual. It makes sense? Sensual. Yeah, very much sensual and very much gross compared to our subtle nature of the mind. It makes sense?
Yes. So is it because the conventional nature of the mind, or is it because of the ultimate nature of the mind?
Both. I think conventional nature of the mind, is conventional nature of the mind is compassionate, altruistic, and that when so that is already there. But when this fully awaken from the elimination of the defilement, then it awaken into omniscient state of altruism. The ultimate state of our mind is already there, but when it become the awakened wisdom, by eliminating the defilement, then it will fully awaken into a state of awakened wisdom of Buddha's Dhammakaya mind. You see, so both are. When you talk about nature of compassion, is in the conventional state, the conventional state of mind. The ultimate state is very much the nature of that conventional state of compassion, the conventional state of altruism mind, the conventional state of Buddha nature within us. The ultimate is very much talking about the emptiness of that mind. See, and that emptiness, in fact, is not what you call it is just simply the lack of inherent existence only, and it lies in the nature of permanent. You see, so the compassion, altruism, it's with compassion, loving kindness is impermanent phenomena. So therefore, the nature of our mind in the state of compassion is referring to the conventional mind, the conventional consciousness.